What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. I wanted to go over this video right here with Anthony Mackie, discussing on this Pivot podcast a situation about success and working hard. And, you know, are we lying to our kids about what it takes to become a successful person? You know, and yeah, this thing is going super viral. A lot of people are talking about it. Anthony Mackie, man, honestly, he got to start like peeling back when it comes to having conversations with people, because it seems like he doesn't get all of his thoughts together the way that he wants to say them. And then he gets a microphone in his face and he tries to like spit out these truth bombs. But then these bombs end up blowing up in his face.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
It's like, Tony Mack, bruh, it's your first day on the job as Captain America, and you're dissing America. What the hell is wrong with you, man? All right. Yeah, congrats on that box office, by the way. But yeah, he comes back. Remember, this was a year or two ago where he was criticizing the Harry Potter franchise. And you guys will remember, I did a video on this way back when. He was talking about, Harry Potter has no fucking black friends. No black friends over there for Harry Potter at all, with the exception of, the roommate that he had at Hogwarts, right? Dean Thomas, he was black, and then he also had a Quidditch teammate, Angelina Johnson, she was black. And then the best friend of the Weasley twins, Lee Jordan, he was black. They hung out all the time, but other than that, it's like, other than that, oh, Harry ain't got no black friends. It's like, yeah, get the microphone away from this dude, because he doesn't always know what the hell it is that he's talking about. Now, sometimes he does. You guys will remember that one podcast, he called out Marvel, for basically only hiring black people for Black Panther.
We've had one black producer. His name was Nate Moore. He produced Black Panther. But then when you do Black Panther, you have a black director, black producer, you have a black costume designer, you have a black stunt choreographer, you have a black, and I'm like, that's more racist than anything else. Because if you only can hire the black people for the black movie, are you saying they're not good enough when you have a mostly white cast?
Like, they're not hired in any other movie, but in Black Panther, oh, they hiring black people left and right. And he said, yeah, that's racist, which it is. Like, these people can only get hired for the black movie, So he called Marvel out for that, rightfully so. Hire the best person for the job regardless of race. That's what it should be, But then, and he also had this one. Let me show y'all this real quick. He actually made some sense right here in this same podcast that we're talking about, we're going to discuss. But he made this comment, which I said incredibly based, all right? He's not wrong.
In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men.
I mean, he's right. Right? He is right. We've been talking about that forever and a day. They have killed masculinity. Hollywood is a part of that, by the way. All right, Anthony Mackie. Hollywood is a part of that agenda to kill masculinity, not just in the black community, but in all communities. That we got a major crisis of masculinity. So yeah, he's not wrong in certain regards, in certain aspects. But we're going to talk about this comment because, look, I think this guy he's disconnected, and he's showing how disconnected he is when it comes to his thought process. And he probably shouldn't be giving advice or even talking about this stuff. He should probably table that and maybe listen to others because he comes off as extraordinarily disconnected and almost elitist. Let's go ahead and just listen to this.
I've been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart. Like, I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned.
All right. So, this is that victimhood mentality. This is exactly how the victimhood mentality permeates in the black community. You know, everybody says, oh, you know, somebody's got to give me success or somebody's got to do it for me. I can't get it on my own. All right. I can't pull myself up by my bootstraps because I don't have bootstraps, you know, like shit like that. This is exactly the kind of language that allows the victimhood mentality to permeate itself through the black community. And it's coming from like a prominent figure in the black community, an actor just in a Captain America movie, a big Marvel movie. He's the headliner of the show. And he's literally sitting out here saying, oh, all your hard work ain't gonna mean shit. You know, success has to be given to you. So what happens is people just kind of lean back, right? Oh, well, you know, I'm waiting for success just to land in my lap because I can't earn it. It's not earned, according to Anthony Mackie. This is one of the big problems we got in the community. You guys got to watch what you're saying. Stop getting out here, blah, 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 just spitting out these quote-unquote truth bombs because this is bullshit. Now, I'm going to be a little bit generous to Anthony Mackie because at the beginning of this, he is trying to relate this to his personal experiences, which may be true in his personal life. That generally is fine. You want to relate what you're talking about to your own personal life. But his personal experience is that of being a Hollywood actor who made it. A Hollywood actor who is in 2 or 3 of the biggest movies in the history of Hollywood. And that's literally like 0.1% of the world, bro. You are so disconnected from this conversation. You can't have this conversation. Hardly any of these NFL cats can have this conversation. Y'all are disconnected from that. 99.99% of the people in this world don't know what the fuck you talking about right now. What do you mean? That's the only way I'm going to get it. What are you talking about? Like, okay, that might work in that line of thinking. That might be true in Hollywood. Because, you know, they have to audition for roles. And there might be 2 people left and right. And it's like, I think I like this guy a little bit better than this other guy. They was both kind of solid. I'm going to give him this opportunity. I can understand it from that point. Somebody has to give you a role, give you a chance, give you an opportunity to play a part. Anthony Mackie got to play Papa Doc, right? Somebody gave him that role and that helped his career. Somebody else was probably up for Papa Doc and he didn't get it, you know? And maybe that dude is like, you know, flipping burgers somewhere. I don't know. While Anthony Mackie is in Avengers, you know, so to that point, he's correct. But again, we're talking about completely different things. This cat is in Hollywood. Like some of these cats in this thing, like you got, I think Fred Taylor and Ryan Clark. These are NFL players, you know. These cats are NFL players, and even with the NFL, you know, like yeah, they could be given a spot, you know, like if they pass the eyes, like in sports, you got to pass that eyeball test. All right, you got to look the part. You literally have to look the part. There could be a little 5'7" dude that is balling out of control. That dude is the man. Yeah, we're going to go with that 6 foot guy or that 6'1" guy or that 6'2" guy. Because the 5'7" guy, even though he's really good, he's a little bit too small. So, yeah, sometimes in the NFL, especially like the NBA, shit, in the NBA, man, it's like a 7-footer come walking in the door. Y'all watch sports. Y'all know what I'm talking about. 7-footer come walking in the door. He got the job. I don't even know if this dude can play basketball. We'll teach him. Don't worry. We'll get it fixed. We'll get him right. Because, again, he's already beat. Like, you know, he got what other people don't got, height, you know, and it's the same thing. You can't teach that stuff. So, yeah, some things you don't have to earn. It's given to you based on the fact that you just fit the part, you look the part, whatever the case may be. But again, that don't apply to the rest of the world, man. That only applies in these certain fields. He's talking about acting. He says, I've been in, you know, acting for 24 years. You know, and I've been going through all of this stuff for 24 years, and I've seen people go from nothing to something because of one role, and they were given that role. So to all of that, I respect it. I understand it. You know, and then there's, you know, like, you know, there's favoritisms, obviously. You know, you got like James Gunn giving his brother jobs. You know what I'm saying? You got that kind of shit, all right? Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter, she gonna get bumped to the head of the class just because she's Ron Howard's daughter. Bronny James, all right? This dude's struggling like, damn, I'm in the G League, man. Can I get a spot on the Lakers? I'm better than Bronny James. Nope, come on, Bronny. Because why? He's LeBron James' son. So all of that is true. I'm not disrespecting that. I'm not saying that that's not true, but that don't apply to the community. See, he was saying this about the community, and we tell our kids about good grades and stuff. It's like, yeah, go get them good grades, bruh. Go get them good grades. Work your ass off. And don't cry about it. Just get out there and hustle. And good things will come to you. But if you get up here telling people success is given, it's not earned, again, now you are baking into people's minds the victimhood mentality. And now you're giving people an excuse to go out there and just be, I just got to wait for success to land on my shoulders. Nothing I can do, all right? Nothing I can do. He just said you can put them all through these programs. You can tell them to get the good grades. It won't matter unless somebody gives me success. And so that is a major problem. This kind of talking point needs to be scrubbed out of his mouth, out of the entire black community's mouth, because this ain't going to help them. This don't help them folks at all, man.
Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off.
Again, these football players, they passed a certain test called the eyeball test. They passed the eyeball test. They were 6'3", 6'4". They ran a 4.4 40, and we could teach them the rest, regardless of whether they were good or not. I'm not saying that they weren't good. In order to get to the league, you got to be good. You got to be very good to get to the league. Nobody gets to the league without being good. But there was cats that was cut down in high school or in college, again, just not passing the eyeball test. It's just a fact of life in the NFL. That's just the way it goes. But you still got to be good. You still got to work your ass off. They were given opportunities early, but they weren't given opportunities their entire life. There's plenty of NFL players that flame out after 2 or 3 years because they trash, because they didn't work hard, because they were given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and never developed a work ethic that could sustain them all the way through. There are plenty of players that went fast, like in the league. Oh, this guy was a number 2, number 3 draft pick. Dang, what happened to him? Yep, out of the league. You still have to have that hard work mentality. So again, I hate this kind of a conversation that Anthony Mackie is spitting out here. This is the kind of stuff, again, that creates victims, that creates problems where now everybody is lazy. They don't want to work hard. They think hard work is just a pointless thing. Oh, somebody's got to give me an opportunity. Oh, they favorite. They liked him better than they liked him. Well, maybe it was something about that person's hard work ethic that they liked about him. Did you ever think about that? Maybe somebody just out-hustled and outworked you, and that's the reason why they are where they are. So Anthony Mackie saying this kind of stuff, again, it's not what I teach my kids. All right. I hate this conversation with a passion, man.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know what you mean.
Because of that, I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is the scary thing. Because I went to all the programs. I've done Broadway. I've done off-Broadway. I've been in the business 24 years. I've been in 2 Academy Award films. I've done independent films. I've done major motion pictures. Now I'm Captain America. So now what?
I would really love to know, and I might have to find this podcast to see what it is he's talking about there. But to me, again, it sounds like he didn't get an opportunity that he wanted. I've done all of this work. Nobody gave me an Oscar. Nobody, gave me an Academy. Or maybe that's what it is. One of the things is you do have to define success for yourself. What is success to Anthony Mackie? How does Anthony Mackie measure success for himself? Does he measure success based on, winning awards or just, making millions of dollars, being in X amount of movies, getting these kind of roles? What is it to him? That's on him to figure out. And everybody has a different measurement of success. So you cannot say that success is given. You can't say that. Saying that success is given means that your idea for what success is goes across the board for everybody. This is the worst message to give to kids in the community. And he's talking about the community. He said it earlier. This is a terrible look, Anthony Mackie. This is a terrible look. Again, sometimes you just got to pull the mic away from people. And I'm not saying that he's trying to do anything wrong. He's clearly trying to, drop some truth bombs, some wisdom, But he said, I just came up with this last night. Let it percolate for a couple of more nights then, man, because this came out all wrong. And now it's going viral, and it makes you look like an absolute moron. Don't do this shit. Some people will try to read between the lines and say, I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying. Again, to a certain extent, I get it when he's talking about certain roles and certain areas of life, but that don't apply to the whole community. The whole community needs to hear, get your ass up, go to work hard, bust your ass 120%, and, you know, good things will happen for you. They will. Have high expectations for yourself. Expect greatness, and greatness will be there. Expect to succeed. You know, sometimes you don't have it. It's out of your hands. You really can't determine. But, hey, that ain't the message to the community. That ain't the message to the kids. It's out of my hands. And, yeah, again, in certain professions, it might be based on, you know, who you know. Or it might be something like the eyeball test, or it might be some other, you know, quote unquote unfair metric that gets you across the finish line. That might be the case in some industries. It's not the case across the board at all. And that certainly ain't the message that we want to put in kids' heads. You know, let them figure that out. Or, you know, once they finally get to that level, you know, once the hard work and the work ethic is in place, then, okay, hey, sit down. Let me tell you a little bit about this industry and how it works. You might need to go and network a little bit harder. You might need to do this, this, and this. There are some strategies, you know, that you might want to employ at this stage of the game, you know, but that's not what you teach the kids. The kids at the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up through high school, they need to be about one thing. We got to work. All right, let's go. Let's get to work. That's all it is to it, man. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Again, Anthony Mackie, I think, just off the mark again. All right. This dude just constantly is sticking his foot in his mouth. I don't get it. All right. Let some of these ideas just kind of simmer in your mind for a little bit. Talk to some other folks. See what they think about it. Not on a podcast. All right. In your private life, just start, hey, man, what you think about this one right here? Because before I get out there and put my foot in my mouth again, I want to make sure that I get another perspective of this. Maybe something I didn't really consider. Because if he had asked me, I'd be like, yo, Tony Mack, this don't really apply to like 99% of the world. What you just said really just applies to certain people in certain jobs and certain spots. You know, certain professions, yeah, like acting. Yeah, 100%. But the rest of us and most kids ain't going to be actors or athletes for that matter. So, yeah, they got to get up, put their shoes on, and get to work, all right? That's all it is to it. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.